Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's hard to believe that we're at 100 already. I think and one of the first ones was actually one of my first games, and my first goal ever in MLS history was at Spartan Stadium in '96. I think that would be the start of this thing, right? So it's exciting for the guys. Again, as I've said through this process in the beginning of the season, we've had a lot of tough games and a lot of games that kind of get your attention and get to see where you're at. And I think a game with this type of hoopla and emotion, and again a Clásico, the 100th edition, the stands are going to be full. It'll be a great occasion for our group, and we're coming off of a good road win, so we've got to try to, as I said to the guys, double down on the 3 points and have another good performance. So I'm excited about it. I know the guys are, because again, it's another game that kind of gets your attention because it has something to it that's maybe just a little bit different than any other game. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah, I mean, for me, the early years the games were super intense and super competitive, especially, I mean, obviously the Rose Bowl games are the Rose Bowl games, but when you went up and played in Spartan Stadium and the field was small and the concrete of the stadium was about 5 yards off of the field, you felt like a nice, good tackle right along the sideline could put you into the wall. Like, it was, the way they played, they were just whipping balls in on top of the goal, and the games always were intense and could go either way. There was usually a lot of goals involved in these games, and so always exciting, and back in those days it was the rivalry. So it's I think now we still feel that the importance of that game, and now I think what used to be a lot of intensity and hard tackling and fighting has turned a little bit more into football maybe, but it's still, the games still matter just the same, and matter to our fan base and matter to everybody is just the same as they did in the past. So it's again another opportunity for our guys to really focus and lock in and to come out and put on another good performance, and we want to take 3 points in front of our home crowd. That's what we need to do.
You guys had a good showing the first time against them. How do you expect them to sort of come out? You expect them to come out this matchup here?
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at kind of the trajectory of their season. They've been in leads, they've given away leads, they've had some good moments where it looks like they're going to get some results, and then the results have slipped away from them. Even in last week they lost 3-0, but they controlled certain portions of the game and had opportunities but didn't make do with them. So I think they're a little bit in an interesting spot, which is looking at some of their performances and saying they were pretty solid, but the results not really showing, and trying to figure out what tweaks they might need to make. So I don't suspect we'll see much that's too different. I think they'll make some decisions on how high they want to press us and how aggressive they want to be. But I don't necessarily think we'll see too many different things outside of the box. I still think they're trying to really find that stable level that gets them results. And so I don't know if they'll go fishing too much, other than to try to continue to build off what have been actually some okay performances, just the results haven't been there. So yeah, we have to, at this point, we've got to really focus on us, because you don't quite know 100% what the opposition might be thinking, and we've got to focus on the things that we need the game to look like, that can help us to put our best performance on the field, which will give us the best opportunity to get the points at the end of the game.
Being this the oldest rivalry for the LA Galaxy, how do you live these games, comparing as a player and now as a coach?
I the same. Obviously, as a player, at that time there weren't many teams in the league, and these games were a lot of players who kind of grew up together and were around and just knew each other and had a ton of history in the early part of the league. Now the league's grown so much, it's it's a little bit different. But when you play against San Jose, when you play against LAFC, those rivals, the in-state rivals, the games, because it's also emotional for the fan bases, and it's an important competition for everybody. That it's going to get the best of our guys, their focus, their intentions in the game, the intensity that needs to be there. As a player and a coach, I don't approach them very differently. I think it's about understanding what things you need to do inside of the lines to win the game, and make sure you take care of all of those details. I mean, as a player, I would try to focus on those in my role. As a coach, I try to make sure everybody else knows what their roles are, and that they have the best opportunity to focus on the things that are going to help us be successful. So it's, but the competition is the competition. You can never take a step back from the importance of these games.